You know, the promise of AI is absolutely everywhere right now. But what if we're all looking in the completely wrong place for a solution? What if the biggest problems we face at work have nothing to do with adding another flashy tool, but instead fixing something way more basic? That's what we're digging into today. It's about why you probably need fewer handoffs, not another AI.
All right, let's dive into a scene that's probably super familiar to a lot of you. Picture this. A solicitor is just putting the final touches on a really important document. It's the lease review for Dawson Property Group, matter ID MAT 2048. The work's been double-checked, everything looks good, and it's done. And now it's time to send it off. A simple click on the send button, and boom, the document is on its way. Seems totally harmless, right? But this right here, this is the very first handoff. And honestly, this is where all the trouble really starts. Because what happens next? Almost immediately, another person on the team gets that email and starts, well, manually typing the exact same information into a completely different system. Let's see. Client Dawson Property Group. Matter lease review. Matter ID MAT-2048. It's a perfect, painful copy. All done by hand. So think about that. It's the exact same info now living in way too many places. And this is that hidden friction that just grinds everything to a halt in our day-to-day work.
And it just gets worse from there, because that one little handoff, it multiplies. Suddenly the email is being forwarded with a quick FYI. Notes are being copied and pasted. A chat message pops up. Hey, what's the status on MAT 2048? Meanwhile, billing is just stuck on pending. And then you get the question we all dread. Wait, is this the final version? See? One simple task has just exploded into this chaotic mess of manual, totally disconnected work.
So here's the real takeaway, the big idea here. You don't need another tool to try and manage all that chaos. What you really need is just fewer handoffs. But hold on a second. I know what you're thinking. Isn't this exactly what all these new AI tools are supposed to fix? Aren't they the magic bullet for productivity? And you know what? That's a totally fair question, but it's a question that's focused on the wrong part of the problem.
Okay, so here it is. This is the core idea of this whole explainer. The real bottleneck, the thing that slows everything down, isn't the work you do inside any one tool. Nope. It's the messy, chaotic space between all your different tools. That's where things get lost, that's where work gets duplicated, and that's where everything just gets stuck.
And what that means is, we kind of need to flip the script. We have to start thinking about the workflow first, and the AI second. The process, the flow of work itself, is so much more important than any single piece of tech. So instead of that fragmented mess we just saw, imagine this for a second. A clean, orderly, orchestrated path. The work just flows. It goes from intake to the matter being opened, to the draft getting linked, all the way through to approval, and finally, the billing trigger. It's just one clear path right through all the noise. And this is the result. All of that information that was scattered everywhere, it's now in one single, calm, centralized place. We have one source of truth. Everybody can see the status is awaiting approval, and everyone knows exactly what the next step is. Partner review. No confusion. So instead of chasing down a dozen different people with emails and messages, all it takes is one single, decisive action to move the whole thing forward. Just one click. And check this out. The effect is immediate. The status instantly flips to approved for the whole team to see. And the next step, trigger billing, is already queued up automatically. There's no guesswork, no chasing people for updates. There's just clarity. And momentum. This is what it feels like. Less rework and a whole lot more control over the entire process. And this, right here, is the proper role for AI at work. You see, good AI doesn't just add another complicated layer on top of everything. No, it clears the path. It works in the background to automate all those painful handoffs between the tools you're already using. So what makes this possible? Well, there's a name for it, the orchestration layer. Just think of it like a central hub, a system that connects all your tools, automates those handoffs we've been talking about, and creates that single source of truth we saw just a minute ago. Now, this kind of orchestration is exactly what Omnisenti is built to do.
It's the orchestration layer that's been designed from the ground up for legal work, built to solve this exact problem of friction between all your systems.
So I'll leave you with one final question to think about. Just
Take a second and think about your own workday. Where does your work actually get stuck? Is it inside the software you're using, or is it in those messy, frustrating spaces in between?